in my actual eyesight. Is there the high drive? Deep center. Go, go, go. We're out of here. We're out of here. Say ya, playa.
Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! And this is it for good! The Audubon Green Wave are back in the Final Four! A gold pile on their side!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DW Broadcasting's coverage of men's varsity.
From our entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Thursday night special here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We've got a great one here from my alma mater, my first game back at home since I graduated back in June. I've got my senior class of 24 shirt on, always repping the home team, but today's a bit of a contentious game as we've got a Thursday night out-of-conference special between the Pitman Panthers and the Audubon Green Wave. Now, one might remember many, many years ago when Pitman and Audubon were fierce rivals, and there was actually a point where they said we're going to stop scheduling each other because of how fierce those games got in 2019 and 2020. But they scrimmaged each other last year, or I'm sorry, they scheduled to scrimmage each other last year, but it was canceled due to excessive heat. And now in 2024, Coach Newcomb and Coach Tomasetti meet again after about a 5 or 6 year hiatus in regular season play between these two teams. Now, dating back to 2016, Audubon is 3-0 in their contests against Pitman, but things might change. Pitman is on the mend after a win over Salem Tech after losing their last 3 in a row before that. And Audubon, you know, like we said, they're up on a 500 record as well this year. At the moment, going into this October 3rd matchup, the NJ.com website kind of stalled out on us. They're off to a very impressive 6-2 start, their best start since 2014, and they've won 4 straight. Hallsboro, Woodbury, Woodstown, and Maple Shade. Now, the problem is that there was a big gap between that Woodstown and Maple Shade game. That was the 19th of September for the Wolverines, and for the Wildcats, well, that was on October 1st. So they spent a long time without playing each other, or against anybody else for that matter, and now things are a little bit different. And for these guys that have been loaded with out-of-conference matches this year, they play Riverside next week, and in fact, this is the 3rd of 4 straight out-of-conference matches for both teams. For Audubon. So it's going to be fun. Pitman coming into this one at 5-4, trying to get back on their feet after losing 3 of their last 4, and Audubon on a 4-game win streak, trying to entertain those. We were going to say under the lights, but guess what? The only light we have is the sun standing over to my left. I'm Dan Wilkins here with Gavin Van Rel, Cole McNeil shadowing for us tonight. We will focus our attention to center pitch as the Panthers and the Green Wave are ready to go here from the Green Wave Park. Here from the Green Wave turf, kind of a truncated start as we had a kind of a scheduling, not a conflict if you will, but just kind of a snafu where we were told 5 o'clock on NJ.com and then it was pushed up to 4:45. Remember, the girls soccer team is playing tonight. That game will be tape delay recorded by Varsity Sports Network. That is the network that Tad Kozanowski runs as an independent operation from his time at Sterling as the TV director there. But let's take a look at the starting 11s brought to you by our good friends over at Harper Driving School. For Pitman High tonight, it's going to be Jaden Ammons along with Jake Bowen-Ashen, Elijah Crispin, the basketball star who might be getting some high-level recruitment now, taking his talents to the soccer pitch. He's on the center line there for the Panthers. Along with that, Aiden Epley, Drew Keefe, another baseball athlete for the Panthers, Trevor Leach, Nate Newcomb, Lucas Razzie, Jonas Trum, Logan Williams, and Joey Zuber in goal, who versus Glassboro a couple days ago scored a free kick as a goalie. We are underway from Audubon. And going down for a foul in the first 10 seconds is number 6, George Heller. We should lead that in with the Audubon starting 11 tonight, brought to you by Harper Driving School. For the Green Wave, it's Sean Rizzi, the junior, Zach Fayer, RJ Holma, Jason Stocklin, and taking that free kick there is number 9, Nick Caladros. That one goes out of play to the left of Zuber. After Holma, though, is Jason Stocklin, George Heller, Anastasios Novartidis, Ben Cameron, Nick Caladros, Trent Bantle in goal wearing number 15. Aiden Stollard, the sophomore, who also has made some DWB appearances in his ball hockey career. He dons to number 19, and then Tyler Wiltsey, who made a jersey switch to number 95 to, for whatever reason, I don't know why. What? Lightning McQueen, okay. I mean, that's a nice character to pay homage to. But that's always fun. This one will be sent over midfield. With a good carry from the Panthers, Bantle boots this one out after the charge by number 7, that being Jaden Ammons. And this will be a throw in for the Panthers. This will be taken by Epley. Back to Drew Keefe. And leading with that one, Nate Newcomb. This one is headed by Crispin. Crispin scored a goal in Pitman's 5-0 win over Salem Tech earlier this week, which was their first win in a while after dropping their last 3 prior to that. Like we said, this year for the Panthers, they're sitting at 5-4 under Coach Newcomb, as the 2010 state champions lost 3 in a row, 2 on the road to Pennsgrove and Woodstown, and 1 at home, 2-0 to Shalleck. All 3 Tri-County opponents. But they started off the year very respectable 4-1, all with either 1-goal wins or 1-goal deficits, and we have not a stoppage, but a delay for their tie-in Bantle shoe. I don't know what the deal is with Bantle. He had some issues tying his left shoe. So he's readjusting his glove, he's readjusting his shoes, and who's going to send it away? It's going to be Ben Cameron. Boots this one right towards midfield, lands right on the yellow line. And it'll be popped up by Leach. Brought down to Newcomb, and now Rizzi's going to throw this one in. He pauses. But as we said, Pitman's first 5 matches of the year were either decided by a 1-goal victory or a 1-goal deficit. That one's knocked down. Caladros takes a shoulder. The Rutgers Camden commit for baseball, who recently committed on the same day as Trent Bantle, the goalkeeper, he took a shot off the face. So Razzie will throw it in. You could hear the reaction from the crowd around us of like a collective "oh," for lack of a better word. This one will be chopped over to Crispin. Back to Newcomb. He finds space. Stoller didn't get there. Bantle gets some height on it and keeps it in his hands. But 2-1 wins over Wildwood, Woodbury, and Pennsville, a 1-0 win over Overbrook, and a 1-0 loss to Glassboro. That is not particularly in order. But after that, as we said, dropped 3 straight to Pennsgrove, Shalleck, and Woodstown, and beat Salem Tech 5-0 just yesterday on Wednesday the 2nd. This one is interjected by Caladros, as now Wiltsey's going to bring this one over. Wiltsey this year already tacking on 11 goals to get to 49. He's sitting on 49 career goals.
Good ball, Tyler!
He sets this one up well for an early opportunity, but sliding in as the Panthers, and they'll thwart that situation. Wiltsey had a career-high 18 goals in his sophomore season after having 4 as a freshman. You know, we were talking about a big talking point in 2022 is that he and his brother Hayden, who now plays over at TCNJ, collectively combined for 71% of Audubon's goals in the 2022 season in the regular season and playoffs. They were instrumental in Audubon's success that year. So he's had 18 goals, 8 assists in his sophomore year, 16 goals and just 2 assists as a junior. And he is already creeping up towards that career high with 11 goals, and they're going to call an offsides here. In fact, in all but 3 matches, Tyler Wiltsey has contributed multiple goals. 2 goals apiece over Gloucester, Palmyra, and Woodbury, all wins for the program. Or, I'm sorry, they lost 4-2 to Palmyra. And Palmyra is a very good team. They were sitting pretty on top of the South Jersey Group 1 rankings for most of last year. Actually had a hat trick in a 6-0 win over Paulsboro back on September the 13th. And another whistle will be blown there as we've got a sub coming in. Elijah will be subbed out. And coming in for the Panthers will be number 11, Braden Carr. Of course, they're also missing a leading scorer on this Panthers team, Owen Bolton, who has a torn ACL. And Pitman, as a whole, had a great loss in the past couple of weeks with a loss of a 2024 graduate, Cole Kelly, who suffered a terrible accident a few weeks ago. And the Pitman community has been mourning him for a while now. But that kind of shows the great community that both of these small towns have, is that everybody knows everybody. And the fact that I now live in Pitman, you know, shows the communityship that we've seen from both of these small towns. But like I said, you know, these 2 teams, back when there was a certain bunch of people, you know, running the show, it used to be bad blood. I mean, these guys had fights, they had kerfuffles and scrambles and whatever else you want to call it. And there was a time where they basically said, yeah, we're not scheduling Pitman anymore. And now that, you know, now that feeling has changed, now that basically a new cycle of students have walked through the doors. This is going to be a corner kick for Jason Stockland.
Come on, Jay!
Returning from injury after he suffered a major injury last year that knocked him out for most of his junior year. Here comes a header. Didn't get anything on it. Fair missed to the left of Zuber. Set it up well, but just a little bit of hesitation on the front line. And it ends up costing Audubon a goal as we are just about 9 minutes into the first half.
Good, Riz.
Rizzy ended up packing like a brick wall there, did not hesitate. Heller passes this one out to no man's land, almost hit the corner flag, and it's out of play. We've got some South Jersey boys soccer action coming up next week as well on Tuesday, October 8th, in a matchup between the Delsey Crusaders and the Cumberland Colts. That'll be a 4 p.m. start time. And on Wednesday, October 9th, we're back at it again from the virtual mountains of Uncasville, Connecticut, as we've got the SCORE Racing League, the simulated competitive online racing experience. They start at 9 p.m. from Connecticut at Lime Rock Park for our 3rd race of the 8th season in SCORE competition. Had a great race last night in the virtual bankings of Charlotte Motor Speedway. And of course, for football this week, we've got a very exciting triple header. On Thursday, October 10th, it is the annual West-East game between Cherry Hill West and Cherry Hill East. That annual rivalry will be held at East under the lights for the first time in the game's 40-plus year history.
Don't let him turn.
On Friday, October 11th, we'll be back over in Camden County for coverage between the Shalleck Cougars and the Gloucester Lions. That's a 7 p.m. start time on Friday the 11th. And then as this one goes out to Zubert, who keeps this one rolling on the ground there. On Saturday, October 12th, we've got an 11 a.m. start time between the Willingboro Chimeras and the Woodbury Thundering Herd, our third of 4 games with Woodbury in a partnership with Woodbury City Public Schools and their football program this fall. The fourth of 4 games in that partnership will be next Saturday the 19th between the Penns Road Red Devils and the Woodbury Thundering Herd. Gets some distance across midfield. Rizzi stops it. Now stabs it over, and that one is taken out of play. Epley got the last touch on that one, and that says that was out. Novratitis had the last touch on that. This will be thrown in by Epley. He'll adjust his shin guard. Pitman this year 1-4 in the Tri-County Diamond Division. All 4 of their losses have come in divisional play. And this is actually just their... Oh, hold on here. We'll hold that thought as this one goes out to Zubert. George Heller had a good ball on that one. But this is just their second out-of-conference matchup of the year. They played Woodbury back on the 13th of September at Woodbury at the Francis Avenue Fields and won that game by a final of 2-1. And this one is a boot for Joey Subert. Takes the header off of Kaladros. Wiltsey was almost there. Now it's over to Novratitis, making some space away from Newcomb. Now this goes back to Heller. Rizzi has this one. He finds some space, and this is going to be a turnover as it goes back to Epley. And shockingly enough, Pitman only has 1 more out-of-conference game scheduled after today, and that is a visiting game on the 28th of October at Holy Spirit in the Cape Atlantic League. And despite what you would think about Wildwood, no, they are not in the Cape Atlantic. They have been in the Tri-County since 2007, which, you know, we've talked with some Pitman coaches before and other coaches in the Tri-County area, especially the ones that play the Group 1 schools in that conference. And it is always difficult because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that Wildwood is in that conference. Even though they've been there for almost 20 years now. You know, you have Lower Cape May Tech, they're all in the Cape Atlantic League, but Wildwood is the exception. Even Wildwood Catholic is a member of the Cape Atlantic League, but the Wildwood Warriors are a no-go, and they play them again on October the 16th. Couple of subs coming in fact, Crispin coming back in for the Panthers, and subbing back in for Pitman will be number 6, Owen Hurley. Hurley, the junior, with 1 goal this year and a 2-1 win over Pennsville. And Zubert keeps this one on the ground over towards Keefe, the 6'1", 180-pound junior. Newcomb gets a shoulder from Novratitis. Here comes Wiltsey. If he gets this one, it'll be number 50. It's off the post and good! Just about 15 minutes into this one. The Green Waves strike first, and it is the 50th career goal for Tyler Wiltsey. As his 12th of the year, as we said, he has scored multiple goals in all but 3 matches this year, and he gets the Green Wave on the board. It's 1-0. Whew. Immediately rolls this one out to Zubert. But they put the pressure on right away there.
Good work, Nicky.
And that's something that Audubon is going down as Crispin, and Heller's going to get called on that one. Elijah Crispin, the nephew of Joe Crispin, the former NBA guard for the Phoenix Suns and Los Angeles Lakers for a few years in the early 2000s. A big presence in the Pitman basketball community. We were there versus Salem when he picked up his 1,000th career point. Zubert from deep, and it's a goalkeeper to goalkeeper tango. I mean, we said before, Zubert has scored a goal this year on a free kick. And whistles are going to fly there. And Zubert himself, 63 career saves, 24 across 8 games this year, averaging 3 saves a night. Here comes another one from Zubert. That's the crazy thing, though. You see on NJ.com on his box line, 19 games, 39 saves, 8 games, 24 saves, and then you click over to scoring, and he's got a goal versus Overbrook. I mean, usually when you look at goalies, the only exception I think to seeing scoring in a goalies column would be Trent Bantle, because there was a time where he was a midfielder before converting to goalie, and I was there for that during the 22 season, where they had basically a goalie crisis, if you will, in the middle of the season, where, you know, nobody really knew who was going to be the proper goalie. Wiltsey is burning past everybody. That's a line drive, and scooped up by Zubert. He falls to his right.
Hey, keep working.
I'm surprised there wasn't any like banners or anything about Wiltsey picking up 50 career goals. That is it's a big accomplishment. The only other Audubon player to achieve 100 career goals was Chelsea Fadio in 2016. Zubert takes that one away.
Hey, good ball.
They have been putting the pressure on him. He leaps up, and he took I think he took a hit there. Might have deflected off of the post when he was deflecting that ball away. He gets helped up by his teammates, and after not much of a stoppage, but just a brief pause there, he gets up under his own power, and this is going to be a corner for Stockland.
Come on, bro.
Senior Stockland keeps this one on the ground, sets it up for Wiltsey, and that one might be headed towards Alcyon Park in Pitman. All jokes aside, that one was headed towards that one actually just rolled into the construction site, or whatever plant there is over there, towards the cell tower. I mean, those nets are there for a reason, but they can't stop everything. You can see Zubert kind of taking his time there. You can see his hands over his knees. Zubert gets the boot. Knocked down by Fair.
More on.
Taking a tumble there, but it goes back to Rizzi. Novratitis gets the touch over to Wiltsey. Wiltsey's got another opportunity again, setting up this play for Zach Fair. Goes to the left, and it's in, but the whistles were in beforehand, and there's going to be an offsides there. So the goal gets stricken away, and this game remains at 1-0. With 22:48 left in the first half. The clock that you see on the bottom of your screen is unofficial and may vary by a couple of seconds, but we haven't had any stoppages yet, so it should, for all means, be accurate. The thing that we have to get used to here at DWB is the difference between high school and collegiate soccer, because this is only our second high school game of the year. We did Clearview and Delran a couple of weeks ago, but everything else has been collegiate. This one's another big boot taken down by Stockland. Back over to Novratitis. Zach Fair on a mission again. Fair, the junior, with 5 career goals, 3 of them this year. I'm sorry, he does not have any career goals, but he has 5 career assists. 2 of them versus Woodbury midway through the month of September. Back out to Ben Cameron, and we've got a tangle. No whistle. And Ben Cameron kind of completed that play like a bull in a china shop, but he got it done anyway. Back over to Novratitis. And another tangle of foots there. Back over to Holma. Stollard passes this back to his goalkeeper, Bantle. And Bantle gets the boot off to the right. Panthers tried to swoop in for that one, didn't get it. From number 2, Logan Williams, and Zubert will take care of this one again. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Harper Driving School. Over 95% of students who take their state driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment today at Suite E of the Total Turf Complex in Pitman, right off of Lambs Road. And also should be noted, if you're a small business owner interested in getting in the advertising game in South Jersey, all commercials on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting are filmed, edited, recorded, and produced by myself and our wonderful crew. All funds go towards college expenses, travel costs, and equipment upgrades. If you're interested in getting your name in the advertising game, send us an email with an advertising inquiry at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com.
Work through it, George.
And we will send you an advertising flyer with information on how to get your name in the advertising game in front of over 70,000 annual viewers on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Anthony Dubon has checked into the game for the Green Wave. As Stoller. Looks like this is going to be a corner here.
Oh, Jay!
And Stockland's going to have another chance. And another sub coming in for Pitman. Jaden Ammon's coming in. And it'll be a goal kick this time for Zuber. If Stockland were to take the goal, the corner kick, he's got one career goal and one assist this year. His lone assist came in a 4-0 win over Gloucester back on September the 9th, early on in the campaign. But something that I haven't seen for Audubon in years is they have barraged their schedule with out-of-conference matches. And I haven't seen anything like that from Audubon in a long time. They've already played Woodstown and Maple Shade. This is, as we said, this is their third of 4 in a row in non-conference play, because they play Riverside on October the 7th next week. And they already played Palmyra as well in a 4-2 loss back on September the 12th. And then they also have Shalleck on the 11th and Bordentown on the 24th. So, you know, I've seen some teams pick up some independent games and stuff like that, but I haven't seen Audubon be this ambitious with out-of-conference scheduling in years. Number 37 for the Green Wave has checked in. Looks like a younger fella. That is Grayson Heller, the freshman.
Hey, what up, Stas?
I assume related to the older brother George, who's donning that number 6 out there. Wiltsey creates some space, but the ball gets taken away from him. Good defense by Trevor Leach. I mean, he has been all over that between both Stollard and Wiltsey. And another penny coming off of the black and white. Checking in is Braden Carr. I'm sorry, Braden Carr will be substituted out for number 14, Lucas Razzie, who we've seen some playing time with already here in this first half. Couple of hoppers over to Zubert, and he stops it. Don't forget, tomorrow night we're over in Burlington County for football between the Florence Flashes and the Cinnaminson Pirates. 6 o'clock kickoff, and then on Saturday, DWB will celebrate our 3-year anniversary of the founding of the company, as some contentious whistles coming in there. Pitman wanted a hand, and I think they got it. But on Saturday, October 5th, will be the 3-year company anniversary of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We celebrate with a doubleheader between Camden Eastside and Pennsauken football at 12 and Rumson Fairhaven in Manchester Township in Shore Conference play at 6 o'clock. Crispin gets deflected by Homa. Here comes another one that doesn't go. Over to Drew Keefe. This one's a good ball, but coming in for the strong header is Ben Cameron. And that one's out of play. They're going to say it's still a throw for Epley. Epley chops this one down, gets sent back towards the middle of the pitch. For Drew Keefe. Back out to Zubert, who sends the boot well over midfield.
Good Nicky.
Nick Caladro's trying to stay on his feet there. Heller grazed it a little bit. Back out to Homa.
Hold the ball.
Back over to Razzie. Some heavy defense in the far corner. Man down, stays on his feet. Here comes a shot, and it's just over the crossbar.
Hey, tighten it up, D!
Taken by Jaden Ammons, and Banel having to dive for that one. I mean, you know, Banel at 5'9", at 5'9", 5'10"-ish. I don't want to be too harsh on that. You know, obviously he is one of the shorter goalkeepers around, but he makes up for it in the agility that he has and just his sheer vertical. Able to make that change and able to, you know, I mean, Zubert's probably like a 6'2", 6'3" guy. I mean, maybe even that's a little bit exaggerated, but even then, you know, he's definitely on the lower range there, but he makes up for it for sure. Looking for number 51. He's got number 51. And once again, Tyler Wiltsey with a multi-goal night. He gets us back in the swing of things. It's 2-0 here midway through the first half. I mean, I don't know what you can do to stop Tyler Wiltsey at this point. Green Wave lead 2-0.
Boys, forward. Let's go.
Gets past Grayson Heller. And it goes back and forth. Back over to number 17, Jonas Trum. Back over to Keefe, headed by Trum. Some good footwork there by Ammons. That'll be a foul. We unofficially have 14 minutes left in the first half. Remember, because there's no digital scoreboard here, the refs can use extra time. That's the big difference between what we saw last week at Clearview and Delran, is that because there was a digital scoreboard, the time was kept digitally and not on the field. But because of the situation here, they do keep the time on the field. And the situation is a little bit different. Headed by Homa. Ammons knocks it down with a knee. Past Stollard. And out of play past Ben Cameron and number 14, that being Lucas Razik. Yeah, the roster's listed alphabetically instead of being numerical, so it's throwing me for a loop, so I apologize. I'm stuttering a little bit. Cameron sends this one over to the middle, headed by Fair. One hops off the chest of Leach. Gets some height on it, and that'll fall right in Banel's lap. There's a lot of folks checking in here on the sidelines. Support from the visitors and support from the home side as well. Another high boot gets sent off the chest of Nate Newcomb. And Newcomb has been an effective midfielder so far in this afternoon's contest. Wiltsey took a shot there. He's got some room. Zubert's got to get in position. I was going to say he might set himself up for a first half hat trick, but he does not. And that goes out to the left. We were mentioning Newcomb this year, the midfielder, and kind of a midfield hybrid with a defense. 2 goals last year, none this year, but a lone assist in a 2-1 win over Pennsville. As Zubert will send this one away with 12 minutes left in the first half. Goes over the middle. Fair falling away after his header. Back to Ammons. Working through traffic is Trum. Again creating space for Hurley. Here comes another one. He's got 2-on-1, but Audubon takes it away with Ben Cameron, and this one will go straight into the spectator area.
Hold the throw, guys. Keep up the pressure, Pitt.
This will be thrown in by Stocklin, excuse me. That's going to hug the sideline and stay in. Taking a shot there was Braden Carr. Goes back in, deflected by Novratidis. Back to Fair. Coming in, takes another shot off the face.
That's it, Trevor. That's it, Trevor.
These guys might need dental work done by the 70th minute, as Novratidis again with a little bit of a shove. Back to Wiltsey. Back to Stocklin. Got to play a little back and forth do-si-do there. Again, just trying to get out of this jam at midfield, falling away as Novratidis. I was going to say he gets up a little bit gingerly, but he seems to be okay. Again, going back and forth with the headers. We had about 3 or 4 there consecutively. Back to Trum. Holma on the ground, back to Grayson Heller, who sets up room for Wiltsey. This one is up. Went right past Epley. I didn't think he made any contact on that. Goes back to Ammons, who's again in heavy traffic with Heller, the younger Heller, and Caladros. And this one will hit the Red Rocks out of play with Ben Cameron. So he'll send this one over to Bennell, who will take over from here. Just about 9 minutes left in the first half. Gets a good leg on it, but this one is out towards some of the Audubon parents over there. This is thrown in by Epley. Another header. Goes back out to Keefe. Heller interjects. Back to Epley. Hugs the sideline. Sending this one over to Braden Carr, who works his magic again. Floated up by Caladros. Heller gets interrupted by Newcomb. Back to Fair, who loses his step, and it goes back to Heller. That gets stopped. And now calming down a little bit more with Newcomb and Wiltsey going back and forth. Wiltsey trying to set one up. Pitman trying to get in on it. Heller trying to use his body as maybe a quasi-weapon right there. Newcomb finds space for Crispin, who's going to try to send this one the other way. Crispin, a very new addition to this team. After taking a brief hiatus from soccer, honestly, Elijah Crispin is kind of in the same boat as Tyler Wiltsey is, where he's a multi-sport athlete who was originally discouraged from playing soccer because of his recruitment for the sport that is his number one. In the case of Crispin, it's basketball, of course, because what else would it be? And for Wiltsey, it's baseball, as he's committed to Rutgers University to play, after 2025 when he graduates. So, that's the kind of predicament that both of them are in, and they share that, as a similarity, not just in their playing styles, but also, in how they operate as athletes. That one will go back into the construction site again. The little sand lot down there is Ammons will sub back in after a brief hiatus. Carr will get subbed out. Ammons, who's getting subbed in here, boots it right over to the middle of the pitch. Had 8 goals last year, 2 this year with 1 assist. 1 in yesterday's 5-0 win over Salem Tech in the Chargers. Novratidis takes over, gets past Epley, and Zubert will take this one to his right. Wow. The only other goalkeeper that booted the ball that far probably was Joey Lomas of Sterling from a couple of years ago.
Good, Jay.
Passed over to Epley. Working past Heller. Finds some space for Ammons, who interjects. Crispin's going to set this one up with a line drive to the left, to the right of Bannell. That misses. With just a hair over 5 minutes left in the first half. Whew. As we said, Crispin scored yesterday. He was going to try to make it 2 days in a row, but just fell short.
You don't have one.
So this will be sent away by Casey Cameron, or I'm sorry, Ben Cameron. That's a little late for that. Zach Fair with Drew Keefe in tow. He wins the battle, and that's out of play.
I'll be the child that's on like the Bachelorette. I don't get famous.
So crowd still filing in here. The main attraction of the night is the women's game at 7, but we will not be covering that. Varsity Sports Network will be covering that game. And hopefully we'll be involved with Audubon Sports again soon. We covered their football game versus Pennsville that unfortunately did not go the way that we wanted it to, but I'm sure we'll be back for baseball in the spring. We've got some plans in the future. I mean, high school baseball is going to be our
five.
I mean, we had a big baseball slate last year, but 2025, I can just say this from a company perspective, with what we have scheduled, 2025 is going to be our biggest year for high school baseball that we have ever had on DWB. That one rolls out to the sideline. Quickly interjected here. Look at this combo on the throw. These guys are not missing a beat. Sent out by Leach.
Gotta get it, Jay.
Hustle, Jay!
Stockland going over, and that's out of play. Towards the inner sideline, this will be thrown in by Stockland.
Win it, Ty. White.
Hit off the back shoulder. Hit off the back shoulder of Keefe. And this is thrown in again by Stockland. Crispin has some room.
Back.
And Crispin getting past Caladros there.
Good, Jay.
You know, what we saw there from Elijah Crispin, I usually don't provide a lot of soccer analysis, but that looked almost exactly like how Elijah Crispin dribbles a basketball as a point guard, where he finds the space, he looks for how much room he has, and he just whizzed right past Nick Caladros. So that, oh, look out, that one's way over our heads. I've taken a couple soccer balls to the face in recent years, but Stockland will throw this one in. Heller keeps it on the ground for Wiltsey. Wiltsey's got another chance here to Zubert, and again a corner right to number 8. And another incredible boot. Like I said, I think Joey Lomas of Sterling from a couple of years ago was the only other goalkeeper that I saw with that great of a boot that you could send basically across the entire pitch. Bandel takes this one across the goalpost. Right now sitting unofficially at around a minute 50 in the first half. This one's sent over towards Epley, and it's out of play. We do have 2 subs coming in for the Panthers.
Got about a minute, Pitman. Come on, Colin.
Number 15, Grady Datz, and number 13, Nate Newcomb coming back in. As Leach defers to Datz, who kind of has a stutter step throw and gets this one back in. Number 20 has checked in for Audubon. Another big hit there, and a foul. So number 20, Colin Morrell. I never thought I'd see him playing soccer in my day, but he checks in for the Green Wave. I didn't even see him sneak in there. We were talking about the two Pitman reserves, Dats and Newcomb, that came in. But, I mean, I associate Morrell with a hockey guy. He actually played with Vincent Folks, the DWB executive producer, who just graduated from Haddon Heights in 2023, but they were teammates in hockey over at Cherry Hill East. So it goes to the right of Zuber.
Good work, good work.
Good job, Green!
So yeah, a bit of a couple surprising faces here on the sideline. Both for Pitman, with Elijah Crispin, who we just said a couple of weeks ago just joined the Pitman soccer program, and then Morrell as well. Again, not somebody I thought would be donning the green and gold in soccer, but I mean, hey, these guys are 6-2 for a reason, right?
Up. You got 30 seconds.
Under a minute left in the first half.
Win it, Nick.
Kaladros with a couple of touches there, over to Novartitis. Pitman takes it back with Razzie.
Give me out, Ron. Good boy.
Holma sending it the other way.
Good, RJ.
Over towards that yellow line on the inner sideline. Not too much time left, as that one is tossed back over to number 15, Dats. Zubert has it. Zubert kind of taking his time over there. I mean, like we said, the official time is kept on the pitch. So when our clock hits 0, it might be a little bit off.
Good work, RJ.
And there you go. Like clockwork.
Halfway.
At the end of the first half, the Green Wave have contributed 2 from that man over there. 95 is a fitting number for Tyler Weltsey as he adds on his 50th career goal and 51st in the span of 15 minutes. We're through 40 here at the Green Wave turf as the sun is still high and bright right in front of us. Green Wave lead 2-0. We'll be right back after this break. Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Launches one foul. See, Mostero's doing us a service here. Or excuse me, D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro's doing us a service here. He's letting us have this conversation by having a long at-bat. But a lot of people are still caught up in the D1 or bust mentality. Listen to this crowd. Listen to this crowd. We'll talk about that later. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Clapping it up here for the Roadrunners. 2-2. Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! 3-run homer! D'Alessandro! And it's a 1-run game at the crack of the bat. 5-4.
3-run shot to center field. Trailing towards the right center, and the cleanup man does exactly what the position orders, cleaning up. And he does it incredibly well with a 5-4 game. He battles for 11 pitches and makes late switch for the visitors. Again inside their 5. Oh, they're going to pitch this one back for the flea flicker. Touchdown, West! Oh, my goodness! Taking inspiration from Nick Foles and Trey Burton. I think they just pulled off the Philly special. That is the greatest touchdown I have ever seen. Well, maybe not the greatest touchdown I've ever seen. Maybe that's stretching a little bit, but one of the greatest touchdowns we've seen in a long time. And it's a tie game. Second half in order. Here for the Green Wave Turf, Trent Bannell is as excited as everybody else here on the pitch. Tyler Wiltsey has contributed both goals tonight for the Green Wave, and 40 more minutes of South Jersey soccer is underway. Zubert goes over the middle, taken in by Holma. Gets a couple of touches on it. Back out to Wiltsey and Trevor Leach. Yeah, we're good.
Jay.
That sun is brutal, I'll tell you that. Back to Newcomb. And that's out of play on the far sideline. Headed by Epley. Oh, taking a shot there. No foul. Tomasetti not pleased with that one. And we didn't even hear anything. We just saw the hands, and you can kind of hear what the internal clock is ticking off about there. Keefe takes a header back to Newcomb, and Novratidis finds some space at midfield. Wiltsey setting it up again. I'm going to say he might be looking for a hat trick tonight. Zubert slides in. Ball is still in play. No whistles yet. Novratidis and Zubert both got together on that. Wiltsey setting it up for another time. Back to, can't tell who's in on that. That's Heller who takes a fall. No whistle there. Stockman over to the left on the far sideline. Again, we apologize. This sun is brutal here in the second half, and it's just gonna exacerbate itself as we get through until it goes down through those trees, which it might not until midway through that women's game at 7. Headed by Caladros. Keefe sends it out, and we're gonna have whistles here. Crispin is down. Elijah Crispin is down, so that stops the clock. Very early on in the second half, and Elijah Crispin, I'm sorry, that is not Crispin, that is Nate Newcomb. Who will walk off under his own power, but with definitely a little bit of gingerness to it. Carr comes in to replace him.
How you doing?
And back in play here with Leach sending it back out to Zubert. I was going to say Crispin isn't. He's all the way in the back. So he wasn't the one to be in trouble there. It's could have a foul there. And Caladros will be the one to send this away. Zuber high in the air to block this one. Holma knocks it down, and this one's going to go back the other way. Elijah Crispin on the charge. That is a deep ball. Bannell backpedaling, and he'll take this one in. You could hear some advice from his Pitman teammates saying that he's going to hold on it, and he falls.
I love when he does that. It's half goalie, half theatrics, and it's a great thing.
Go watch it. You got to win it.
Carr takes a hop. You can see taking a spin there was Trum. He didn't know where the ball was. This hops down. It will bounce out at the near sideline. And this will be thrown in by Williams. Immediately got blocked there. Back to Crispin on the throw-in. 2-on-1 with Stollard. I mean, hey, Stollard is a DWB star in his own right. Scored a hat trick in ball hockey versus Cedar Creek back on Sunday the 29th.
Good, RJ.
He'll probably make our top 10 performances of the month.
Good work, Zach.
Fayer goes through a spin cycle there. Now going back to Razzie. Crispin finds some space, but taken in by Homa. Taking a fall there. Zubert comes back to it. That'll be a ball for his keep.
For about another hour.
Headed by Trum. Bannell rolls out to the right, well outside of the box. And he'll let that one roll to the sand lot. I always like to call that red brick building over there, I called it the slaughterhouse when I was younger. Just because it looks like somebody would make some good brisket from there. That's all I'm saying. But I'm sure that's a story for another day. Cameron sends this at midfield. Crispin again rolling over the shoulder of Nick Caladros. Bannell slides, dives, and takes care of it. As the always energetic Bannell takes care of that one again. Get some good height on that one.
Made a mistake, Ty.
Wiltsey trying to go through on that. A little too much on it. And that one goes out to the Red Rocks. Bannell with probably what was his 150th career save in the first half. He was sitting at 147. He had 69 saves in 23, 44 in 22, and just 3 in his freshman year.
Good, Nick.
And with 31 saves across 8 games, he has not had more than 6 saves in a game. That was opening night versus Gateway. He's had 5, 2, 5, and then 3 games of 3 saves each. And 4 back on Tuesday versus Maple Shade. RJ Homa was able to deflect on that one on defense. Back to Novratitis. Homa was on the ground there. You could hear some command saying, get up, get up, get up. He was a little slow to get up there. Tyler McIlvain was on that one. He's a new substitution into the game here this afternoon, working through some heavy traffic. Ball gets its way to George Heller.
Oh, that's a good ball.
Here comes one. It goes to Zuber.
Hey, good thought, George.
One on.
Fayer was in there close range, and Stollard lets that one go out of play. We've got a sub coming in. Newcomb back in after his injury scare. We have approximately, he played about 9 minutes in this first half. Thrown into Ammons. And we got a card coming here. Or, I'm sorry, just a whistle. Fayer goes down. Sorry, I thought I saw a card coming, but it was just the yellow whistle. This will be a free kick for Caladros.
Lucas, watch 2.
We'll set this one up well. We'll see what he's got. Goes to the left. Novertidis gets stopped. That play kind of gets interrupted. Fayer gets blocked. Back down to Stockland. We've got friendly fire as Pitman falls on top of each other. 2 Pitman players ended up barrel rolling over each other. Zubert again with a high boot to midfield.
Don't let him turn.
Ammons and Caladros tangling. Back to Crispin. Crispin being challenged by Cameron. And that one's out of play. Don't forget, tomorrow night we're over in Burlington County for some WJFL football between the Florence Flashes and the Cinnaminson Pirates. And then we've got a football doubleheader on Saturday between the Camden Eastside Tigers and the Pennsauken Indians at 12. And then at 6 o'clock we travel over to the Shore Conference for our first ever Shore Conference game in any sport and our first ever non-WJFL football game between the Rumson Fairhaven Bulldogs and the Manchester Township Hawks. It'll be a fun one, 6 o'clock, and that'll be our broadcast to celebrate 3 years of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting.
Good ball, Jay.
You heard it. You didn't hear it from me. Great ball from Stockland. And Zubert takes it on a couple of hops after a little bit of hesitation. Back to Fayer. Pitman interjects. And it goes back to Logan Williams. That's out of play on the far sideline. Got another sub coming in. Heller, I should say the younger Heller, Grayson Heller, for Audubon. Rizzi will get subbed out. Crispin getting subbed out for Pitman. And coming in as number 6, Owen Hurley. This will be a throw-in for the Panthers. To the left of Zuber, Wiltsey will stop in his tracks. And he'll take care of that one.
1-2.
Good, RJ.
Up.
Stollard punts this one over to Fayer. Got some heavy traffic here. Fayer wins the battle. Now he's going to roll this one out towards Leach, and it's out of play. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Garden State Pet Center. Keep your pet happy and healthy with the most organic food products available in South Jersey. Open 7 days a week, but also offering toys, food, cages, accessories, and more. Visit today at 226 South White Horse Pike in Audubon. As we mentioned, open 7 days a week, right on White Horse Pike. Ball rolls right to Zubert.
Okay.
Another great boot there with Stollard and Cameron in tow. How about some great footwork there from Braden Carr? Bantle runs in, he dives to his right, and avoiding a tangle there with Ammons. Not sure if he said something, but you can see Ammons turned his head around after he took that one in. Over the head and a foul. Homa got hit there.
Your phone looks updated. It's a voice text.
Taking his time there, Ammons. He has a lot of space to move and set up this play. Now towards the far sideline. Again in heavy traffic. Audubon looks to take over there with Grayson Heller. Back to Newcomb.
Contain him, RJ. Good work, Aiden.
Heller ran in on that one, and we're gonna have a foul there. So a little mano-y-mano. And we are just about halfway through the second half. Oh, Zubert's gonna run in for this one. Okay. All right, so, I mean, he did it versus Overbrook a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't seen it in person, but you need the advantage. How about number 8, Joey Zubert, looking to do the unconventional here. Cuts it over to the right, Bantle deflects it, got a hand on it, and took care of business in a big way there, getting above and beyond everybody else. And another shift of subs coming in for Pitman. Out is Carr and Bowen Ashwin. And in is Dats, and I couldn't tell who got in on that last substitution. There might have been number 6, Owen Hurley, having to get out of trouble. Headed down. Back to Newcomb, and that one is again headed back into the sand lot and into the trees. That at least fell out of the trees and is a little easier to pick up for our wonderful ball runners over there. This broadcast is brought to you by Vincent's Lawn Care. Fall is here, but that doesn't mean it's ever too early or late to get your lawn taken care of. Call Vincent Folk today at 609-413-0403. Dats over to Ammons, who we've heard a lot from today. Like we said, Pitman without Owen Bolton and without Logan Sharpnack as well. Here goes Wiltsey with a chance to make it 3. Ah, he whiffed on it. That goes over to Zuber, as Fayer had a chance to set that one up. Just didn't get it. Rolls this one up. Stoller deflects it. And that will roll out to our left and into the spectator area. You don't want turf burn. Number 3, Dubon checks in. And checking out is Ammons for Pitman. And checking out for Audubon also is number 7, Anastasios Novratitis. Look, if I can pronounce for Delran Gokdenis Malahala-Sinoglu, I can pronounce Anastasios Novratitis.
Switch.
Just about halfway through the second half here. Dubon rolls over to our left, and that's out of play. Grady Dats was on that one. It'll be an Audubon throw, and it'll be taken in by the junior Stallard.
Coming, RJ.
Back to Homa. Oh, almost some friendly fire there. Back to Fair. And Zubert again takes that one in. We've seen a lot of action from him in goal and out of goal again.
Just get rid of it.
Little tango there on the far sideline between Heller and number 1, Aiden Epley.
Oh, there you go, Elijah.
Elijah Crispin working through traffic. He takes a fall. No foul. Mike Tomasetti is fired up there. And Crispin gets helped up by his teammates. This will be a corner. The corner will be sent away by number 17, Jonas Trump. We'll see how he lines this one up with Audubon out to a 2-0 lead. Scored both of their goals early. Pitman in motion, sets this one up, doesn't get it, gets over everybody's head. And Audubon is going to get this one back as Fayer hesitated, gets it on the second attempt. A little bit of more drawing back and forth there. It goes to Hurley. Up and over, back for Trum. Dubon, some fierce contact there with Williams in tow. Now back out to Stallard.
Good work, Aiden. Good work.
The girls' soccer team is trying to get out of the way, and that one goes up to the Red Rocks. Some excellent possessions here in the last 5 minutes. These guys have been intense, but yet clean. And Pitman obviously trying to get their feet back into this one as they trailed early 2-0, but haven't surrendered anything since the 20th minute. Dubon has the possession. He's outnumbered. Oh, taking a fall there. It hugs the sideline, and it will go out towards Stollard.
He's awesome.
Goes over to Grayson Heller on the far sideline.
Have it.
That one goes to the left. Didn't have the best angle on that one, but so Zubert will take that one out again. Just about midway through the second half here in Audubon. Taken by Nate Newcomb. Deflected lightly by Trevor Leach. Back over to Williams. We've got a big tango there between Dubon and Hurley. Back over to Heller, the older one. Wiltsey in on that one. Off the foot of Jake Bowen Ashwin. JBA. Cameron on defense, and that's out of play. And they were just trying to hang on to that possession, try to keep it the best they could. But this will be a corner by Jonas Trum, was unsuccessful on his first attempt. Got about 16 to play in regulation. Audubon leads Pitman 2-0 as Audubon is looking for their 5th consecutive win. Subbing out is George Heller. Subbing in is Anastasis Novratitis. And getting off the pitch is number 1, Aiden Epley, who fell as he was leaving the pitch. I didn't catch that, but
Yeah.
he walks onto the sideline under his own power. I don't know if he just tripped over his own feet or what. But here is Trum. Trum, who will send this one away. Grayson Heller deflects it, but it does go back to the Panthers' possession with space for Trevor Leach. Goes back to Heller. And back to Fair. Wiltsey might burn him here. Sliding. Stays on top of it. And Wiltsey again creates some space on the offense. Back to Novratitis, who sets this one up. Keeps it in the air. Headed by Leach. Dubon with a high leg. And we're going to have a whistle here. Zubert sends it away. Crispin and Caladros get together on that one. A little too much backspin on that. Now the throw by Williams goes over to Crispin. Oh, he takes a fall, no whistle. And it goes back over to Trum. And they get together. We've got legs colliding. Novratitis with a little push there as he gets out of bounds. Cutting over to the left is Leach. Dubon gets on that one, and a whistle. It's been pretty whistle heavy for the past 5 or 6 minutes. So here is Zubert again. It's up, and Bannell takes it with no issue. Fires this one in. Back to Wiltsey. And for Pitman, you know, it's gotten to a point where, you know, the offense hasn't been 100% proactive. They've given Bannell his pressure, but the defense has been there 9 out of 10 times. And now with under 15 to play, you know, Pitman's got to get on their A game here. They've got 2 goals to make up in under 10 minutes, and not that Audubon couldn't do it with Wiltsey, but they haven't really had a standout guy most of the night. And honestly, that's not a slight against Pitman. That's just how they've played. I mean, you know, look, Pitman is a 500 team for a reason. They play good schools. They have good opportunities. But they're obviously still in transition here, you know, in the first half of this campaign where they're 5-4, but they started off the year 4-1, and they lost 3 in a row for a good stretch of that, you know, road trip in September. Owen runs out of play. That'll be a throw for Stollard. We got 1 sub for each side. Carr back in, Crispin out, and Dubon out, and the older George Heller back in for the Green Wave. Some good lighting here in the sunset hours as it has been fun so far and relatively clean, which when you hear Pitman and Audubon soccer in the same sentence, the history does not indicate that things have been very clean between these two teams. But, you know, like we said, there were discussions 4 or 5 years ago that said, oh, we're not scheduling Audubon again, or oh, we're not scheduling Pitman again. It was pretty mutual, you know, with the altercations that had arisen between these two teams, and it had created somewhat of a mini rivalry. Here comes a shot that goes to the left side net and out of play. But that's the thing, is that, you know, things have simmered down, and think about it this way. The freshmen that were on that team that had that bad blood with Audubon, they've all now graduated. They have walked the stage. So that, you know, sentiment is only something that's carried down through generations. Trum was not happy with that call there, as you could see. So a foul on Pitman, and this will be a free kick for the Green Wave and for Caladros. Caladro sends this one away. He's got a good angle on it, and it's just to the left of the goalpost. And Joey Zubert is in there. Pitman headed by Matt Newcomb, assisted by Matt Smick and Kyle Leach. And Audubon led by Mike Tomasetti, who recently picked up his 200th win versus Woodstown, and we'll have a foul there. And Audubon assisted by Andrea Morrison, Jake Carlino, and Kevin McRory. Zubert sends it away from the center line. Coming in for that one is Trum. Wiltsey has some space. He drills this one with Zubert out of the box. Tried to set him up well, and that's out of play. I mean, it's a smart idea from Wiltsey to try to set himself up with, trying to set himself up with the goalkeeper well out of his comfort zone, and tried to bang it through just to the left. This one is spiked into the ground by Heller, who again takes another shot off of his nose.
Oh, good touch. Now.
Homa goes to a knee. Cameron, who's been very good as a defenseman so far tonight, sliding in, and it's out of. No, it's still in play.
Nice, Logan.
Logan Williams gets a good one there, and again a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
You got it.
And Zubert will take this one again.
I'm like, I don't know the weather. I know.
195.
I'm just trying to see.
Here is Zubert. Keeps it on the ground. Crispin has it. Crispin sets it up. That's blocked by Fair, and the ball will roll slowly enough that Banner will get it without issue. Getting back in play very quickly there. On the far sideline and out of play out towards Keefe. Novratitis was in heavy traffic there. Back to Ammons, and that's out of play. Hold on here. Some nice crowd participation there from the Audubon faithful. They'll be out in further droves for the 7 o'clock game with the women. Crispin and Bantle almost got together there. No cigar, goes back out to Stoller. Stoller keeps it on the ground. Taking a fall there is Fair. Whoa! Again going back and forth there. Williams and Stollard exchanging some pleasantries there. Crispin had a good ball there. Back out to Ammons. He is sliding. And a big collision there with Bantle, who takes it in. That could have been much worse.
Keep the pressure.
And a good boot over midfield. Getting together Razzie and Novratitis. Back out to Heller, who takes a fall there in the middle of his kick. A little slow to get up, but he is back up under his own power. That one's out on the inner sideline. Hold on, clock's going to stop here I didn't see any subs. Apparently there was a sub. I apologize. This will be a throw in. We have just a hair over 6 minutes unofficially to play in regulation. Heller had a chance there. He's outnumbered by the orange and white defenders. Back out to Ammons, who cuts this one over to Trum. And Crispin out of play. Good idea in practice. Just didn't have the execution there, and they couldn't drive that one down the field. So Stallard, after exchanging some pleasantries a couple of minutes ago, he'll throw this one in. Headed by Williams. Razzie. Headed by Stocklin. A little shoulder-to-shoulder action there towards the Green Wave sideline where the junior varsity players are sitting. Cameron heads it out.
He's not allowed.
So Pitman will need a lot of what we would call an 11th hour miracle to get back into this one. They trail 2-0. Tyler Welty has scored both goals in this game early in the first half. So he would probably be our Harper Driving School Player of the Game honoree tonight. On the ground for Ammons, Zubert tells his men to clear out. Over to Leach. On the ground, shoulder to shoulder with Homa and JBA. Fayer goes down briefly. He gets up again under his own power and a whistle. And they'll throw that one back in. Just a hair under 5 minutes left. Here is Caladros. Sends this one high and away to the left. It gets over everybody's head, and this one will go over the nets, hit off of the scoreboard, and it is into the parking lot. So somebody will have to go into Hampshire and get that ball before it goes into the Chinese buffet parking lot. Don't get me hungry. Zubert to Leach to Williams. Back to Zubert. It's like playing a hot potato here, but Pitman can't be playing hot potato in the last 5 minutes of regulation. They've got to try to advance the ball up the pitch as fast as they can. And it's going to be an offside. Fair shot, but the offside is called. As some heavy restraint from, I think that's the, I don't know, there's kind of a blend of Pitman fans and Audubon fans down there. I think the Audubon student section is kind of isolated there. But another good boot by Zubert goes out towards Crispin and Cameron.
Come on, Green. Let's go, guys.
Audubon trying to chew some time off the clock. Our clock says 2:30, but that might be off by a little bit. It's still in at the corner. And now it finally goes out. But this is where that clock management really starts to come in for Audubon. You know, you're up by 2. It's like in basketball, you dribble it out until they have to foul you. In this case, you dribble it out until you force them to make a possession and make a move. And Audubon right now, they've been in the driver's seat all night. And not that Pitman has played a bad game, but they've gotten themselves into foul trouble. And that one hits off of the referee. And it will go out of play either way. It would have gone out anyway. But I think what's important is that they are, you know, Audubon is trying to keep on this winning momentum. They will have won 5 straight. with a win tonight. They'll improve to 7-2, and they'll play Riverside next week on the 7th. That one gets headed out by Williams. Stallard will throw in again. We've got, on our clock unofficially, under 2 minutes left. Fayer and Williams get together. Not sure who gets the whistle on that one, but as we said, Audubon would improve to 7-2 with a win. This is their third of 4 out-of-conference games in a row. They play Riverside next week, and 3 of their next 4 matches are on the road. Away at Riverside and Gateway, home to Shalleck in an out-of-conference match, and away at Hollingswood on October the 11th. For Pitman, they would fall to an even 5-5 on the campaign. They will have lost 4 of their last 5 with a win over the Chargers of Salem Tech. And then after that, they are away for their next 3 matches. In fact, they have been away. This is in the middle of a 6-game road trip for the Panthers. They are away at Glassboro on the 8th, Overbrook on the 10th, and Salem on the 16th. Their next home match is not until October the 17th, when they visit the Penns Grove Red Devils, or when they're home to the Penns Grove Red Devils at 6:30 on Thursday the 17th. Gonna have a foul there. Pittman's got to ramp it up. I think they're finally starting to realize how little time is left. And now Crispin will line up. I thought it was going to be Crispin lining up for the free kick. It is not. It is going to be Zubert again lining it up, trying to replicate that goalie goal from Pennsville a couple of weeks ago. Sets this one up well. It's to the left of Bannell, and it's out of play. Don't forget to stay tuned for the Harper Driving School post-game show with our presumptive Player of the Game nominee, Tyler Weltsey. I mean, there's not really a candidate who has fit the bill better than he has. As with 2 goals, including his 50th. That was a quiet whistle, to say the least, but the Green Wave take this one home in a 2-0 victory, and their first matchup with the Pitman Panthers in almost 5 years. They take this one down 2-0, 2 first half goals from the Green Wave, specifically from Tyler Wiltsey, put this game away, and they hold a scoreless second half to take care of business. We'll be right back with the Harper Driving School post-game show as the coaches will talk to their teams and we will talk to our players here on DWB as Audubon 2, Pitman 0 is the final, and the Green Wave have won their 5th straight. We'll be right back.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
right, we are here for our Harper Driving School post-game interview with the only man who put goals on the board tonight, Tyler Wiltsey, including your 50th goal, which was your first of the day. Number 51 came 10 minutes later, and you got yourself all of Audubon's goals and all scores total. You had a heck of a day out there. How'd you feel out there, 95?
Felt good. Felt good to get the early lead and just keep going.
Well, you've got your dad, Mark, over there taking a couple pictures of us getting this interview done. But, you know, Audubon is on a roll lately, 5 straight wins after tonight. You know, going up against a Pitman team that you haven't seen in a couple of years. You know, there was some tension between the two teams in prior years, in 2019, 2020, and so on. But now you guys are scheduling each other again. Seemed like a fairly clean game. You know, maybe some foul troubles here and there, but nothing too crazy. You know, you guys have been on a tear with this out-of-conference schedule. I haven't seen Audubon running this ambitious of an out-of-conference slate in years. So you guys are seeing schools like Palmyra, Riverside, and Pitman that you haven't seen in a long time. You know, what's it like to be able to play all these different, you know, star-studded schools in South Jersey Group 1 and being able to beat most of them?
Oh yeah, it's good to see our competition for playoffs and get to know the best players and the weak links and be able to, time comes, know where you stand.
Especially with like Maple Shade, Woodstown. You know, this is your 3rd out of 4 out-of-conference games in a row because you guys have Riverside next week. We covered that game last year and you guys won, I believe it was 4-2. But either way, you know, that was one thing that Audubon seemed that they didn't have in prior years was preparedness in the playoffs because they didn't see what their opponents would be. But you guys have already seen Palmyra. You've seen the big guns in South Jersey Group 1, and now you just beat another one of them in Pitman as they have lost 4 of their last 5. But you guys have a tough schedule up ahead. 3 of your next 4 matches are on the road, including some tough matchups with Gateway and Collingswood that you've already seen once this year. What's the mindset like for this Green Wave team as they go into this tough road trip ahead?
Win them all.
Not much you can say there. Just win them all. And for you guys as well, you know, you guys seem to be a really loose team this year, having a lot of fun while doing it. You guys seem to have a really loose camaraderie and getting your guys, you know, in shape to play every single night with the same energy, getting backed up by your student section. You know, after years of Audubon being like kind of a perennial 500 team, you guys are breaking through and really making this impact in 2024. How do you feel about how the team has been this season?
But yeah, I like it. I feel like I've had some good practices, had some bad practices, and putting together some good games though.
Well, you got to take the good with the bad, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much, Tyler, and I am proud to present you with the Dan Wilkins Broadcasting gym bag. We got these today, picked these up in Blackwood. We appreciate it. Hopefully you rotate it into your arsenal when you go to the gym and get yourself some nice workouts going. So appreciate it, Tyler. Thank you. And you can go celebrate with your buddies over there on the sideline. I think some of them are waiting for you. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, well, Tyler Wiltsey gets both goals in a 2-0 win over Pitman. Pitman falls to 5-5 on the campaign, and Audubon on their 5th straight win, now 7-2 on the 2024 season. For the women's game tonight, our good friends over at the Varsity Sports Network will be taping it. I can't say for sure whether it'll be live or just a tape delay on cable, but our good friend Ted Kozanowski will be covering that game at 7 o'clock tonight for the women, for Pitman and Audubon. But from all of us here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, our social media coordinators Brandon Kagerland and Keely Curran, our graphics crew Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane. Speaking of Gavin Van Rel, he's on production tonight, and also Cole McNeil for shadowing us here in the booth as he makes his DWB debut out of Eastern. I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you tomorrow night from Cinnaminson for coverage between the Florence Flashes and the Cinnaminson Pirates on DWB as we inch ever so closer to our company's 3-year anniversary. Audubon takes a 2-0 win. That'll be all for us tonight. Have a good one, folks, and enjoy the weekend.